This is a story called The Little Monsters at Christmas, Chapter 62. The gang and their classmates come together to buy a special present for each of their teachers and Mrs. Scott. It's not long until the kids break up from school for the Christmas holidays, and they want to buy something nice for all their teachers and Mrs. Scott. However, they're not sure what to buy them as they don't really know what they like. Then Stumpy said, "Why don't we get all of the other kids in each of our classes to come together to buy something for each of our teachers? That way, whatever we get them will be from everyone, not just us." "That's a great idea, Stumpy. Come on, let's go and tell the other kids before we go back to class," said Bumpy. They all went round as many kids in each of their classes as they could, and all of them agreed to chip in. Then Joanne Strawberry said, "Hey guys, I've got an idea. We're all part of the drama group and the school choir. Why don't we put on a show? I'm sure the choir master and the drama tutor will allow us to." "That's a great idea, Joanne. Come on, let's go and speak to the drama tutor, Mrs. Redgrape, and the choir master, Mr. Redgrape, and see what they think," said Bumpy. "Yeah, let's do that, but if they ask why we want to put on the show, what are we going to tell them?" asked Paul Pease. "We tell them that we just want to put on a Christmas show for our family and friends," said Grumpy. "Yeah, but what are we going to perform for the play?" asked Michael Banana. "I know, how about the good Santa, the bad Santa, and the naughty elves?" said Sarah Blueberry. "That's a great idea, Sarah. Who's up for doing the play that Sarah suggested? Hands up if you're up for it, guys," said Bumpy. Everyone put their hands up, and then Stumpy said, "Guys, can we please go for our lunch now? I'm starving." Everyone looked at each other, then at Stumpy, and all together they said, "You're always hungry, Stumpy." They all laughed, and then they all had their dinner. Once they'd finished eating, they got to work making a start on the script they wanted to write to use in their play. However, they didn't have enough time to finish it, so they used their afternoon break to work on it some more. After school, they met up and worked some more on their script, and then they showed it to their drama teacher, Mrs. Redgrape, and she said to them, "Guys, this is brilliant. Have you chosen your parts yet?" "Yeah, we've chosen our parts, miss," said Creeper. "Well, do you want me to type up the script for you, or can you manage?" asked Mrs. Redgrape. "We can manage, thank you, miss," answered Grumpy. "What about the costumes? Who's going to buy them?" asked Mrs. Redgrape. "It's okay, miss. Both mine and the rest of the gang's mums will make them for us as they all have their own sewing machines," answered Kicker. "Well, please tell them that I'm willing to help if they need me to," said Mrs. Redgrape. "We will, miss," said Kicker. After school, the gang all went back to Kicker's house to finish off the scripts and to put everyone's names at the side of the characters they'd chosen. Stumpy, Bad Santa; Grumpy, Good Santa; Kicker, Naughty Elf Anna; Creeper, Naughty Elf Jenny; Joanne Strawberry, Naughty Elf Lucy; Paul Pease, Naughty Elf John; Stampy, Naughty Elf David; Bumpy, Naughty Elf Carla; Michael Banana, Good Elf Carl; Sarah Blueberry, Good Elf Ivy; George Cabbage, Good Elf Harry; Ellie Lettuce, Good Elf Peggy; Jeff Tomato, Good Elf Billy; Susan Cauliflower, Good Elf Daisy; Narrator, Timothy Pepper. The next day at school, during their drama class, the gang gave everyone a copy of the script. Straight away they started rehearsing with permission from Mrs. Redgrave. The script goes as follows. Narrator. It's almost Christmas and 2 Santas have come to town. However, one of them was good and one was bad. The bad Santa was drunk, and as he tried to climb up onto his sleigh, his trousers came down and he scared them, making them scream and cry. The good Santa wasn't very happy, and he said to the bad Santa, "Young man, you are clearly drunk. How could you behave this way in front of all these poor little children? You're a disgrace, and you should be ashamed of yourself. Get out of my way. I'll see all these children." The bad Santa, "You'll do no such thing. This is my job, and you won't be taking it." The good Santa, "You're drunk, and you shouldn't be around these poor innocent children." Narrator. At that moment, the owner of the stall, whose parade it was, came out and sacked the bad Santa and gave the good Santa his job. As you can imagine, the bad Santa wasn't happy about this, and he said to the good Santa, "You'll regret this, old man. You just wait and see." The good Santa, "You're the one who should have regrets, not me. You're the one who turned up drunk and scared all these innocent children. Now, if you don't mind, I have a job to be getting on with. Please leave, because you're scaring all these innocent children again." Narrator. The bad Santa left, but as he did so, he secretly said to his elves, "Listen, we're going to get that Santa and his elves. We'll teach them all a lesson." The naughty elf Anna, "What are we going to do, Santa?" The bad Santa, "We're going to do some bad stuff and tell everyone it was that man and his elves." The naughty elf John, "What like, Santa?" The bad Santa, "I'm not sure yet, Elf John, but I'll think of something." The naughty elf Carla, "I have an idea. Why don't we stand near the good elves, and when the little kiddies come out of Santa's grotto, we can snatch their toys off them and plant them on the good elves?" The bad Santa, "That's a really good idea, Elf Carla. Look, the elves are there. Come on, let's go over there now." Narrator. The naughty elves and the bad Santa all went and stood outside Santa's grotto. Every time a child came out with a present, they snatched it off them and planted it on the good Santa. The naughty elves and the bad Santa all went and stood outside Santa's grotto. Every time a child came out with a present, they snatched it off them and planted it on the good elves. Santa came out to see why every child that left his grotto was crying. The good Santa, "What's going on here? Why are all the children crying when they leave my grotto?" The good elf Peggy, "We don't know, Santa. They just keep bursting into tears every time they leave your grotto." The naughty elf Jenny, "I can tell you what's been going on, Santa. Every time a child comes out of your grotto with a gift, your elves are snatching them off them and putting them in their bags. Look, they still have them." The good Santa, "What do you elves have to say for yourselves? Just what has got into you?" The good elf Daisy, "We didn't do it, Santa. We wouldn't do that to the little children." The good Santa, "If you didn't do it, then how did all the kiddies' presents get in your bags?" The good elf Harry, "We didn't do it, Santa. Honest we didn't. We wouldn't never do that." Narrator. By this this time the naughty elves had gone away, but they were stood where they could hear everything, and they couldn't stop laughing. Then the good elf Billy said quietly, "You know, Santa, the naughty elves were stood right next to us, and now they're over there listening to everything we say and laughing their heads off." The good Santa quietly, "I know, guys. I've seen and heard them. I'm sorry. I blamed you guys." The good elf Ivy, "It's okay, Santa. We forgive you." The good Santa, "Thank you, Elf Ivy." Narrator. By this time the good Santa was quite annoyed with the bad Santa and his naughty elves, and he said to them, What your elves did to my elves is wrong. My elves don't have a bad bone in their bodies. They would never steal from the innocent little children, unlike your elves." The bad Santa, trying not to laugh, "I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe you should get your facts straight, because all of my elves have been with me all day and they haven't left my side." The good Santa, "That's a lie, because they were stood right near my elves, right next to my elves outside my grotto. One of them told me that it was my elves who were stealing off the little children when it was them all along." The bad Santa, "That's a lie, because they haven't left my side all day." Narrator. The good Santa didn't want to argue anymore, so he just turned around and walked away. However, a few days later, the good Santa went down to his workshop with his elves, and all the kiddies' presents had been damaged. As you can imagine, both Santa and his elves were very upset, because they only had 2 days until Christmas Eve, when all the presents had to be delivered. The bad Santa, "That Santa and his elves need teaching a lesson. I know just how to go about it." The naughty elf John, "What are we going to do, Santa?" The bad Santa, "We're going to follow them to every house that they go to and take every present that they deliver." The naughty elf Anna, "That sounds like fun, Santa, but what if we get caught?" The bad Santa, "You won't get caught, because you'll be invisible and only 2 of you will go in each house." The naughty elf Jenny, "I think that sounds like fun too. I'd like to go with Elf Anna to each house." The naughty elf Anna, "That's fine with me, because we always have loads of fun." The naughty elf Lucy, Why don't all us girls, 3 girls, go together and the boys go together?" The naughty elf John, "Yeah, and us boys can get up to more mischief than the girls can." The naughty elf David, "Wouldn't we be better going together, all of us? That way we can cause more damage." The naughty elf Carla, "That sounds like the best idea so far, Elf David." The bad Santa, "Yeah, I think it would be best that you all stay together. That way, like Elf David said, you can cause more damage." The naughty elf David, "How are we going to make ourselves invisible when the other Santa has all the magic dust?" The naughty elf Carla, "Easy, we sneak into the other Santa's workshop when him and his elves are sleeping and take some." Narrator. A couple of days later, on Christmas Eve, the naughty elves sneaked into the good Santa's workshop, took some magic dust and then left. On Christmas Eve, the bad Santa said to his naughty elves, "Remember guys, stay invisible so you don't get caught." Narrator. What the bad Santa and his naughty elves didn't realise is that the good Santa and his good elves had made themselves invisible and they'd heard everything they said. What I also didn't realise is that the dust they'd taken was to make them constantly sneeze, and the other dust they'd taken was to make them fall asleep until the new year. This meant that the good Santa and his elves were able to deliver presents to millions of children around the world without the bad Santa and his naughty elves ruining everything. Leading up to the play, the kids rehearsed and worked incredibly hard, both in rehearsals and making the props for the play. It was agreed that they would charge everyone £5 entrance fee. Half of what they earned would go to the school choir as they needed all new equipment such as microphones and instruments. Of course, only they knew about the money being split in half and none of the staff knew. On the night of the play, the kids performed brilliantly and they had everyone in stitches. When they finished, they received a standing ovation. Over 400 people turned up and the kids raised £30,000 as they also provided food and drink. The next day when they handed half of the money to Mrs. Great Redgrape, she couldn't believe it. Over the weekend, all the kids put their money together and bought all their teachers a Christmas present each, including their headmistress, Mrs. Scott. They also wanted to send a copy of their play to Mrs. Tinker in Australia. They were hoping that it would be copied onto a DVD soon so that she would receive it before Christmas. Thankfully, it was ready in no time and the kids sent it to her. When she received it, she rang them up and thanked them. End of chapter 62. Hope you like it, guys. Thanks for watching. Merry Christmas. Love yous. Bye. Oh, guys, before I go, don't forget if you're on YouTube to like, share, comment and subscribe. If you're on Facebook, you like, comment and go to my YouTube channel and subscribe and share if you want to share. Again, Merry Christmas, guys. Love yous. Bye.